I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please rate it thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and follow me on Twitter at @TavariusAdams. Hello and welcome. Today we'll be talking about Windows 10 maintenance and cleanup. It's important to keep a Windows machine cleaned up so that it's running smoothly. Things that could happen if you don't: it could run slowly, it could freeze, it could crash. Lots of bad things can happen when you don't keep your Windows machine cleaned up. So we're going to go through some basic steps of cleanup so that you can keep your machine running smoothly. Now, this is a machine that we are going to do cleanup on. It's a nice high-end machine, so it should be quick to clean up. This is a built machine, so it doesn't have a lot of junk on it. Just has what was loaded on it. If you have a manufactured computer from Dell or HP or anybody like that, they could have installed some extra software for advertising purposes, and so you may need to do a little more cleanup, take some of that stuff off. One of the first things you want to do is just kind of give your machine a checkup. So what we're going to do is, first, I have this PC icon on my desktop. You may not. If you want to, right click on your screen, choose Personalize, go down to Themes, choose Desktop Icon Settings, and here you can select which icons you want on your desktop. I like to keep the computer, my user files, network, and recycle bin on the desktop. So you do that and you'll have this PC on your desktop. You can double click on that to pull up your hard drives. One of the first things you want to check is your hard drive space. If you're running out of hard drive space, a lot of bad things can happen, including crashing and running slow and whatnot. So I've got on this machine two 500 gig solid state drives. On the first one I've got 284 gigs free. On the second one I've got 406 gigs free. So I'm doing fine on space. You want to have, I would say, at least 10 gigs free, just so that your hard drive can move things around and do what it needs to do. So if you do not have very much free space, consider deleting some things or upgrading your hard drive to a larger hard drive. And I would definitely recommend solid state drives. They are very fast, and the prices come way down on them. So the first thing we check is the hard drive space. We see this machine's doing fine. Second, we'll go down to the taskbar down here. We do a right click and we do Task Manager. And we can go to Performance and we can take a look at memory. You can see on the memory in use is 5 gigs, 5.5 gigs, available 26 gigs. So this computer has 32 gigs of RAM, so no problems with RAM here. You want to have a lot of RAM so that your programs can run freely, and again, your computer can move things around. If you are using more than your amount of RAM, then what happens is your computer starts to use your hard drive as RAM, and hard drives are much slower than RAM, so that's really going to slow your computer down. So if you don't have any available RAM and you're using over what your computer has or near what your computer has, you're going to see some real slowdown. So again, if you're using too much RAM, you need to get rid of some of your programs that are starting up when you first turn your computer on, and we'll take a look where that is and how to disable those. So just an overall look at this computer shows that it's running pretty good. Utilization on the CPU is only 16%. Memory, very good. Disk usage, good. Disk 1 usage good, disk 0 usage good. Ethernet just shows you how much of your Ethernet you're using. No big deal there. If we go to startup, this is going to show us what programs are starting up when we turn this computer on. So this computer has an Adobe updater that starts up. Doesn't use Adobe that much, so we're going to go ahead and disable that. Chromium disabled. Discord is a voice over IP chat program, and we don't really use that very often, so I'm going to disable that. Now, it doesn't mean that I can't use that program. It's just not going to start up when the computer starts. So that's going to free up RAM. Elements Auto Analyzer, that is part of Adobe. So let's say disable for now. Go to Assist is a program that you can use to remote control other computers. I use this program a lot, so I need it to start. Microsoft Onedrive is your online storage, so we need that. A video recorder that I've already disabled. My video card settings, that is enabled. Raptor disabled. My audio manager I have enabled. Skype I have enabled. The stack player I think may be sort of a virus. It got installed when I installed some other things, so we'll take a look at removing that. And Windows Defender is enabled, and my Wowhead client is enabled. So that's good. You can look down on this list, and if you see anything that you don't use very often, just disable it. It doesn't need to be starting up when your computer first turns on. That's just using up RAM. So disable as much as you can in here and still keep your computer running the way you want it to run. And that'll be good for your RAM usage. Now that's just disabling them. What we want to do is also take a look at removing some that we're not using to free up hard drive space and just to get rid of it. It doesn't need to be there if it's not being used. So if you click on the Windows button and go to Settings, then you go to, let's see, where is it? System, Apps and Features. You can see your applications that are installed here. And we'll just go down this list. Most of these are going to be Windows 10 programs that are installed with Windows 10. Now this is not something that I installed, so this is probably some malware that got installed. I'm going to uninstall that. Yes. Uninstall. We don't want that. We don't want it popping up any Internet Explorer windows. That's why I just closed that box immediately. Okay. Candy Crush, I don't play this, so let's uninstall it. Chromium, I'm not sure what that is, so we can take a look on the internet real quick. Okay. It's an open source browser. Must have gotten installed when I installed something else, so I'm going to get rid of that. Just looking for other programs here that I don't need. You can keep all the Visual C++ stuff. That's all part of Windows. I'm going to get rid of this. I think it also was installed with something I installed. and Raptor. I believe it's a screen capture software for when you play video games. I'm going to get rid of that. Here's that stack player that also was installed when I installed something else. When I install programs, I try and keep an eye out so that I don't install extra stuff, but sometimes it'll just do it without asking. Okay, not quite sure what's happening. Doesn't seem to be uninstalling. So we'll take a look at it with our virus scanner when we're done here. Okay, I think that's good for removing programs. What you're going to want to do now is reboot your computer, because we uninstalled some programs. We also disabled some programs. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so here we are. We just rebooted. Let's take a look again at our task manager. Again, you right click on the taskbar down here and choose task manager. We'll go to performance, go to memory, and now take a look at that. I'm only using 3 gigs instead of 5 or 6 gigs that I was using before. So we've saved a lot of space, or a lot of memory to run programs. Not that this computer really needs to save that much space, because it's got so much RAM, but you may not have as much RAM as this computer has. So we've already made an impact on our computer with the cleanup that we've done, and we still got a lot to go. So we'll go ahead and close that. You can also, I don't know if you noticed down here, these are your programs that are running, but I've got fewer icons than I did before because some of that stuff's not running anymore. Now there's a couple of places that programs can hide so that they run without you knowing it. We're going to take a look at those places and see if there's any extra programs in there that are running. If you click on your Windows button and just start typing, type the word reg edit and hit enter. If you get a security warning, just click on yes. Now this is a dangerous place to be. You don't want to delete anything in here without knowing what you're doing, because you can crash your computer. But there's a couple of places we want to look. We want to go down to H key current user, open that, go down to software, open that, go down to Microsoft, open that, go down to Windows, open that, current version, open that, and then down to run. And this shows us some programs that are starting up when we turn on the computer. Now they could be the same as the ones we've already seen, but this is right in the registry where they start. So we can see that this Elements Auto Analyzer is still running when the computer starts. So what we'll do is double click this, hit your home button, and just put a semicolon. This way you can safely make it so that that does not run, but it also doesn't delete that. I mean, you could delete the key, the CA headless thing altogether, and it wouldn't run when the computer starts up, but you don't want to delete something you accidentally needed. So if you put a semicolon, it just won't run. Here we've got Chromium, one of the ones we tried to uninstall. Hit the home key, put a semicolon. Discord, I told that not to start up, but it is anyway. So hit home, hit a semicolon. Go to assist I need, link I need, OneDrive I need. There's that stack player. I'm going to delete that one instead of, I mean, I really want that one gone. gave me a warning, and I just said, yes, go ahead and delete it. The rest is stuff I need, so we'll go back to this side. If you hit your left arrow key, you'll just start working your way back up. Go back to the beginning. You want to go to HKey local machine, and then go down to software, and then go down to WOW6432 node. Open that. Go down to Microsoft. Go down to Windows. Go to current version. Go to run. And there's that stack player again. Wow, I think that thing is really annoying. Let's delete it from there as well. Now, those are the two places in Windows Registry where things can be that they'll start up. There's a few other places, but that's a little more in-depth than I want to get today. So we'll do those two. And then we can close the registry editor. And once again, we want to reboot the computer because we've turned off some stuff. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, we've rebooted the computer. Let's see what type of impact we had. Go down to Task Manager, up to Performance, Memory. Now we're down to 3.1 gigs. That's not too bad. We were originally at 5.5, 6 gigs, and now we're all the way down to 3 gigs. So that's the cleanup of the programs that are starting and the programs that are running, as well as programs altogether. The next thing we want to do, we'll shut this, is do a virus scan. Now, I purposely did not load any virus protection on this computer so that I could tell you about a program called Malwarebytes. I think it is the best program out there for virus scanning. So I'll show you how to get it and install it and run a virus scan. We'll open up Internet Explorer and go to www.malwarebytes.org. Go to the free download, and then down to the free download. Now, the free download comes with a 30-day trial of premium, so this will let you try it out. We'll click on that, and it's going to download. We will save as. And then we will run it. Click on yes if the security warning comes up. OK for English. Next. I accept. Next. 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 Create a desktop icon is fine. Install. Now you don't have to worry about this program coming with any extra things that shouldn't be installed. And it's a fantastic program. So yes, we're going to finish this and launch Malwarebytes. We'll close Internet Explorer. Now the first thing it's going to do is check for updates because we just installed it. And for you, at the end of installing that program, it probably asked if you wanted to start the free trial. So make sure you put the check mark on start the free trial. I've had this program installed before, so it didn't ask me that. Checking for updates, updating. Okay, perfect. So now we just do a scan now. It's going to check for updates again because that's part of its scan process. Some pre-scan operations. I would definitely suggest purchasing this software. It's the best antivirus, anti-malware software around. Scanning memory and startup objects. So far so good. So our cleanup did pretty good because we must have deleted anything that could have been a virus or malware. Now it's going to scan the file system. This can take a little while depending on how many files you have because it's going to scan every program on your computer. So if you've got a lot of files and programs, it's going to take a while, and if your computer is not that fast, it can really take quite a while, up to an hour or so. So we'll just let this go. Okay, we just let the scan go until it was done. Took it about 3 minutes, and scanned everything on the computer, and we are clean of any type of malware, so that's good. If yours came up and listed some malware, don't worry, it'll take care of it. Just click on the remove button and it will remove all the malware that it found and probably give you the option to reboot your computer. So let's say we just did some cleanup, and we just finished our virus scan and we removed some viruses, and it's asking us to reboot, so we'll go ahead and reboot. And I'll see you back here in just a few seconds. Okay, our computer has rebooted. The Malwarebytes scan is done. You can see we have a new icon down here for Malwarebytes because I said go ahead and do the trial. I would definitely recommend purchasing this program. It's by far the best program out there for scanning viruses. Now let's see how we did. If we go to the task manager again, performance, memory, we're sitting at 3.7 gigs. We started at 5 something, about 6 gigs, and now we're down to under 4 gigs. So that was good. We got some cleanup done, and we've optimized our machine. We got rid of viruses, we freed up some memory, uninstalling those programs freed up some hard drive space. I don't remember how much we had before, so I'm not sure how much hard drive space it freed, but we weren't concerned about the hard drive space anyway. If you were on your machine, then hopefully you freed up a lot of space and your machine will run better. That's how we clean up our machine. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and follow me on YouTube. You can also, subscribe to me on YouTube. You can also follow me on Twitter at @TavariusAdams. Feel free to ask any questions about either this video or other questions about your computer or network, or any type of technical questions or problems that you're having, and I would be happy to make a video about it. Anyway, that's it for this video. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.